Good morning, friends from around the world. Here we are once again for another amazing interview with an amazing person. And our goal this morning is to fill your hearts with inspiration. And I'm absolutely over the moon. I'm beyond excited to bring on Sandy Schmidt here in a few moments, who is an online icon in Costa Rica. She is organizing all kinds of amazing things in the Pacific coast of Costa Rica, tree plantings, beach cleanups, animal conservation projects. And this is a truly amazing woman, and I'm really looking forward to interviewing her. This interview is brought to you by Karma Tribe. Karma Tribe is a global network of people willing to help each other for free. That's right, completely free. And it works through our website, karmatribe.com, where you can offer and request free services according to your gifts and your needs. We have people offering over 1,000 free services on there. We're already in 56 countries. So if you're not part of it already, join the Karma wave, because this is a wave that we all can surf. And this month, we are fundraising to bring Karma Tribe to the next level. We want to build a Karma Tribe projects feature on our platform so people can come together for community events like beach cleanups, feeding the homeless for a day, having a children's sports day. Whatever event you've dreamed of organizing for your community, you can organize this soon through Karma Tribe, and you'll find people to come be involved. Because we've discovered it feels so good to come together and accomplish positive things. So thank you very much for watching. And I hope you're having a wonderful morning wherever you are. Let us know where you're tuning in from in the comments, please. It is so wonderful to see. And without any further ado, I would like to invite the inspiring, the unique, the legendary Sandy Schmidt. Come on down, Sandy.
Hi, guys. Hi.
So great to have you on the show today.
Thank you. It's super exciting. Thank you for having me.
Well, the pleasure, the honor is ours, Sandy. So, Sandy, would you mind introducing yourself and telling us a little bit about, where you come from?
Where I come from? Well, I'm an expat. I'm actually from Germany. I live in San Antonio. So my main thing, obviously, I work in a beautiful, gorgeous little hotel called Gaia, which is actually interesting coincidence because Gaia is Mother Earth, and I'm so connected to nature. Nature is always my big inspiration. So there I work in marketing and sales and events and, weddings and, make the, that dream moment in life of couples come true. So that is what I do. Is the main thing, and then I'm really involved in basically with almost all the local organizations that are involved with wildlife conservation or tree planting, and helping out my friend Julie, who is into ocean conservation or beach cleanups. At Gaia, we do have the reintroduction program of the skull and macaws, so that's a huge thing as well. We've released 40 birds now over the last 2 years, and trying to close the corridor between the population in Jaco, for example, with the population in future, hopefully in San Antonio and the south. So yeah, I support as much as I can all these great efforts to make a change and conserve and save the planet.
So how does a German girl like you from the other side of the world get down to Costa Rica and be suddenly in this leadership role and all these positive things?
That's a long journey. Yeah, it's been a long journey. Yeah.
Well, how did you end up down here?
Well, I mean, at that time it was supposed to be just an internship for 3 months, right? So I came over here, and I had finished my bachelor's degree in Europe. I went back. I signed a contract for a great job. I was offered. But there was a gap. I'm like, okay, I fill this gap and do another internship somewhere. And I came over to Costa Rica. I got that internship. I'm like, it's an easy way to travel and learn at the same time, right? So I came here, got offered another job, which was not as well paid compared to the one I had in Germany. And I'm like, well, no, I'm 23 years old and I'm going to do this. By that time, I was 23 years old. And yeah, I'm going to do this. I came over and for some reason, I never left. It's been now almost, yeah, going for a decade now, 10 years next year.
Wow. So was there a specific thing that made you decide to stay in Costa Rica, or you just fell in love with the nature and the job you were doing, or why did you decide to say no to the higher salary and the path that, the typical path?
Well, I mean, I think maybe at that moment it was just this excitement, and sometimes when you're young you just don't realize exactly what's moving you inside. It's still time of 23, you're just coming out of university, you're still exploring, you're developing who you are, but I felt inside it was just never what I wanted. I was never like going for those things like when you go through university, this thing of competition and who's better than the other, and even those questions in interviews like, why do you think you're better than the other person? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I can't say. He seems to be like a great person. I don't know. So I've never went behind the typical program of going for the big car or the house or whatever, and really going more for what I felt was right or felt vibrated more with me. And yeah, Costa Rica is a great place to be, and supposedly the happiest country in the world. So I think it's a great place to be here.
So may I ask, did you get any pressure from your family to be taking like an alternative path?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Of course, like my dad is super business and straight, and he was certainly not happy at all. He's like, what the hell are you doing? Yeah, so my older brother and my father both like really on the typical path. And at that time maybe you felt like the not the black sheep but the unicorn of the family, doing something and nobody really understood. But that has now all resolved. Everything fell into place, and after some years of them not understanding, they're like now really supportive. They love what I'm doing and they enjoy when they come and visit. And actually, I kind of feel now they're like, yeah, they understand now. Like, yo, actually, you're doing it right.
Now they're jealous.
Now they're jealous. Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing, Sandy. If you're just tuning in now, I'm interviewing the inspiring Sandy Schmidt, who lives in Manuel Antonio. And we would love to know where you're tuning in from, so let us know in the comments. So Sandy, you've become now quite an Instagram influencer here.
Yeah.
So how did you build up your presence on Instagram, and what is it like having so many eyes on what you're doing? Is it a privilege or is it a challenge?
It's interesting. I actually started just as a hobby, for me, having on one side being involved with my job, having my responsibilities, and then also supporting many projects. So there's a certain level of stress. The way I like regain energy is going into nature. So I love exploring Costa Rica. Costa Rica is an amazing country. So whenever I have a chance, I'm out, explore. Get to know the different areas and really connect with nature. So I started with that posting, and I think there's a lot of almost everything you can learn when you really connect with nature. So many concepts of life. So I kind of started combining photography, the moments, how I felt with that, and the fellowship started growing, right? So, and then basically from there, whenever there were like initiatives and so on that we're doing tree planting, I saw more people were joining, so it's definitely really beautiful. So now it's become quite a platform I really enjoy, and I use it to basically, share positivism and activate people to join into initiatives. But yes, sometimes obviously there is a little bit of a struggle, when followership grows. Now we have more and more people. But honestly, I think I'm really true. I stay true to myself. I'm like, I'm also connected with a lot of photographers, and I tell them, I'm not a photographer. My images, and for me, the main essence is that, and I won't change it. If it flows in that direction in future, become a better photographer, great. I will definitely just download it and create a workshop online, which I will do. But I don't allow that pressure to get me. Oh, now you're a big Instagrammer, your pictures have to become better, or you can't say this, or you cannot publish that. For example, oh, I'm promoting Costa Rica as a beautiful destination, but you're not allowed to show that there's trash on the beach. I'm sorry, but it's the reality. So I really stay true to myself and to what is reality. Because if we just look away, that change is not going to happen. Mm-hmm.
Staying true to yourself. I love that. I want to say good morning to Nancy. Saludos desde Alajuela, Costa Rica. She's giving us a bunch of big hearts and balloons and everything. So thank you, Nancy, for tuning in. So one thing I noticed on your Instagram is that you accompany your pictures with like a beautiful message, always from the heart. And also you respond to almost everyone who leaves a comment. Mm-hmm. So is that you staying true to yourself, or is that also like a strategy for doing well on Instagram, or why do you do it?
It's not a strategy at all. I think it's just nowadays, there is like everyone can make a decision to put their attention wherever they want to, and influences so much. You can change like in a hot blink, just put your attention to something completely different. If someone like actually does not just put the little like on the heart on my picture and actually reads a message, I think that just also deserves my time to respond back. And if it really vibrates with someone, sometimes I really put a lot of, not effort, but a lot of emotion. It's a time for me to think through something I went through that day, and if someone goes through it and sends me a message of support, that is that's already an act of kindness. Someone is dedicating their time and love and sends me something sitting on their phone instead of doing something else. So it's only for me mutual to reply back or to help. I mean, sometimes, it's just really just promoting Costa Rica, and I tell them, where the coolest place is in Monteverde. No, I've not been to Monteverde.
You've never been to Monteverde?
Really funny that I just say that. No, but, La Fortuna or San Antonio or Jaco or wherever. So helping that. Or, life aspects, So no strategy there.
Well, it sounds like it's like a life strategy to just be yourself and follow your heart and give people respect.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Sandy, recently I know that you've been really involved in a lot of things with my friend Julie and Manuel Antonio, and especially when the hurricane came, you guys activated your networks and raised money, raised donations, and helped give them out. Can you tell us a bit about that experience? And did it, Karma Tribe is about the power of community. And did you feel the power of community in that time?
Massively. Definitely. Wow. I think it was like a roller coaster of emotions, right? So from, every day we went out, we saw absolutely amazing moments, like the community coming together. That was the beauty of it, like so many people coming together worldwide. I had support worldwide. It was like from my family and in Germany, friends from Germany, from my Instagram community. They were helping and supporting, from friends from San Jose. They just out of nowhere said, hey, we're on our way with a car full of clothes. And I'm like, who are you? Like, I don't know you, but it's so cool. And so this was just amazing, like the outreach and the community of San Antonio is just amazing. And there you really, really learn also that generosity, because generosity and kindness is also not just funds, because doing something, an initiative requires so many different aspects. Some people are good, campaign leaders, others are good in organization, operational things. You know, some people have the information, some people have the funds, some people have the time. So we need all of them together.
Mhm.
And honestly, we really, really made that happen. We have an amazing group. So yeah, just saying thank you as part of one. I'm on a big group in San Antonio that was becoming so united, helping and being out there. And we still are. Like, we're not done. We're still, like, the efforts for Nate are still going on. And we'll continue with even some larger projects still. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for your work.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing what you guys are doing. I want to say good morning, Cynthia from British Columbia. My mom. Love you, Mom. Thanks for tuning in.
Hey, that's my friend.
And we got Natalie here from Germany.
Hey.
Hey. Guten Morgen.
Guten Morgen.
So, so Sandy, let me ask you. So as you're getting increasingly in the spotlight, and I know with our friend Julie, you're organizing some events and trying to bring different influencers together to really make things happen. Tell me about leadership. How do you feel? Like, do you feel like you're being called into like a serious leadership role in Costa Rica, or how do you feel about you and leadership?
I think it's kind of nothing that feels not natural to me. I'm like, don't like strong language. I'm like, oh, I'm a leader, you know. But
the word intimidates you a little bit, or no?
It doesn't intimidate me, but I think it's like, you know, I'm not really, you know, taking on a lot of titles. I'm a team player in a sense. So I think that's what it is. Maybe I can take the position, but still, at the end of the day, understand it's always a team. You know, yes, I'm the one maybe that puts out the initiative or communicates, but at the end of the day, if nobody comes, I'm nothing, you know, or this initiative will not happen. So yes, I'm happy to take leadership in usually it's the first step, you know, coming up with the concept, communicating, and I think if that's leadership, great, I take it. You know, I'm really, really passionate about moving people and you know, so yeah, basically there we go. But it has been super easy. It's been so easy. Like in a moment, you just put, you know, something out. Hey, we have a beach cleanup on that day. People are like, oh, we're gonna come. So honestly, I think sometimes we have to understand being the change. People are so afraid of thinking it's such a big thing, you know, or coming up with an initiative. They think it's such a huge investment of time or operation, and sometimes it's just simply not. And I think for me, it's just simply no effort. You know, for me, it's just very natural, and for Julia as well. And no matter if it's tree planting or the Makar project, or you know, yeah, it's easy. I love it. Maybe it's just, for in Spanish you say me nace.
Do you think that this world needs more leadership?
Yeah, I think there are many people like they're right on the edge. You know, they have an absolutely great message, and maybe sometimes you just make obstacles in your mind. You know, they're so much bigger, and that's what I, for example, learned in nature. Right, the other day I went with the school to Costa Rica, to Cerro Pelao, and I was like, I'm not as good with heights, you know, and I just got stuck and I looked down and was like, oh, wow, you know, and it was just really like 2 meters or so I had to overcome because I was like really struggling with that fear. But I made it much, much bigger, you know, than it was. And then just through breathing, I'm like, okay, you know, and it's so empowering. Sometimes it's just a leap that you have to take. And so, yeah, if you have, just saying, like, if you have a great message or a cause, and you just like, oh, reach out. We're here too to support each other. You know, if you have a leader that you inspire, just reach out. You know, and I think I'm also like really on my Instagram using it for that. I'm like sending people or saying, you know, if you have an initiative, if you need help, connect. Like, I'm happy to give you that extra push to make your initiative work, or find people. You know, I'm a good connector. I love connecting people too. That's fun. You know.
Yeah, it's very, very important work. That's what we try to do with Karma Tribe, right? Yeah. Is connect people. And I think that the major problem in society is lack of connection and communication, because there's an abundance of talents.
Mhm.
They just need to come together more, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that happens basically all the time. I have a lot of people reaching out actually from Costa Rica in San Jose. And I'm not quite sure. I need to analyze that still, like what kind of initiatives are going on. But I think Combo Tribe is going to help a lot. Yeah, a lot of people, especially maybe in the city, sometimes maybe people are a little bit disconnected because so much going on, much more influence, that they don't know where to start. They want to make a change. They want to spend their weekend on not just going into nature and going on vacation and off-roading. They sometimes really want to help, but they don't know where am I going, So if Common Tribe will be a huge asset on putting it out, if you want to help, there you go.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. We have Lerone tuning in. Good morning, Lerone. He says,
I miss you.
love this. Lots of love to you both. Ah, what a great guy.
He is.
Miss you, Lerone.
He's in your video, right?
Yeah, he is.
Mm-hmm.
He's a natural star.
Natural star. Yeah, he is.
So, Sandy, what you were just talking about how we have different mental blocks, it reminds me of this theme that I've been talking about with my previous guests a lot, which is our relationships with ourselves. Mm-hmm. And how everything is based on our relationship with ourselves. If we have a positive relationship with ourselves, our life can blossom and we can accomplish any goals that we have. And if we have a bad relationship with ourselves, then we block ourselves from the things that we want. So what do you think about that? What are some ways in which you've learned to have a better relationship with yourself?
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's a big one. I mean, if you grow up, there's a lot of struggle going through. I definitely also had, my past was a bit, difficult too. I didn't have a lot of guidance there. So especially if you have not a lot of guidance, you struggle. If you have a strong guiding system when you grow up, then that's easy, right? So I think for me, it's like I'm really embrace failure too. Failure and so whenever failure is great. Failure is absolutely great. If there's no failure, if there's only good times, you won't move on, So I think I always stay on the positive side of life, see good things in any aspect. You pull the essence of good always, even if it's bad, but you move on. Life always moves on, So yeah. Basically, trying to be really positive. And I think what always helped me throughout the life is like this internal feeling that I have that I have the strength to overcome a lot of things, or most of things, or almost everything. So far, I've overcome everything. So overcoming a difficult situation in my life has shown me pretty much can resolve pretty much a lot that comes my way, has been thrown in my way. Mm-hmm.
It's funny how those challenges or failures, when you get past them, you end up getting more confidence. Mm-hmm. So the challenge and the failure is a blessing in itself because it makes you stronger. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I'm always amazed at how much we can learn from the difficult times.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you've learned anything in the past year that has changed your outlook on life?
That was, yeah. I think we talked about, my family and everything. I think last year that one of the big things was really, a big moment for me was really like when my dad called me and said to me, in a random moment, what? I'm really proud of you. You have done it exactly right. With really having maybe struggled with expectations and things like that, that was really huge. And it kind of felt like, okay, you always knew inside, that you're doing what makes you happy, but obviously.
Doug, I'm doing a show right now. Can you please? Oh, sorry. Thanks.
Yes. And then finally getting that support that from a person that you really love and admire is amazing. So that was a breakthrough and really liberating, as I'm like, okay, now I can fly even higher.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. And it also makes me think of the other side of it, which is the fact that your dad decided to call you and say, you know what, I'm proud of you. That was like something, probably he was been thinking it for a long time, but just that he took a moment to actually do it, and it meant so much to you. It makes me think like we have so many opportunities like that to say things like that to people that we know and that we love and that we care about, like little thoughts of kindness that we haven't expressed yet, but that could really make a difference to them.
See, and that's why, I don't have any strategy in that sense. I think like, for example, I was thinking about it this morning on the way, like even giving a hug is not just giving a hug. It's like in the moment you give a hug, you receive a hug. It's like, don't hold back on this message you always wanted to say to something, or maybe ask for forgiveness to someone that is like, if you feel like you hurt someone, maybe that person is not a big deal, or he or she has forgotten it, but for you it's still there. So get it out of your heart. Write a person just in the morning, who did you not connect with in a long time, just send a message. I did it yesterday, sent to 2 friends I was not connected to in a long time, and just like send them a voice message, and what I received back was just so beautiful. So giving is always two-sided, and I think that's really important that we learn. It's like giving is not just money. It's your time. It's your love, your nice gestures. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, such beautiful words. Our fans are wondering about our safety. I hope everyone is fine after the earthquake. Yes, kind of a crazy earthquake last night. It was pretty scary for me. The whole house really shook, but everything's okay. Just a couple broken bottles.
Really?
Yeah, it's really strong here. Mm-hmm. Didn't hit you too bad, Manuel Antonio?
It was shaking. The lights turned off. Yeah. I don't know why, but I'm not too scared about earthquake. I'm more scared about other things, but earthquakes for some reason, no.
And Eddie says I need to put a live sign out on my door. It's so true. Yeah. Exactly. Amen. Well, Sandy, thank you for your inspiring messages sharing today to the world, and for all the amazing work that you do.
Thank you.
I'm honored to be your friend, and I'm excited about this. Would you mind telling our viewers about this National Beach Day that you guys are planning?
Oh yeah, well, it's still in the planning process, and it's actually my friend Julie, who hopefully is watching or will watch later. So Julie, I love you, and you're amazing. She's like, I'm more land, she's more ocean, but we support each other. So yeah, the big idea. It's still in the planning process, but basically we're already lined up along the coast, or the Pacific coast of Costa Rica, representative in different beaches. So Tamarindo, Carolina, you and David, Carolina. She's on board, you on board. We are in Antonio. I have Discovery Costa Rica, who are my friends as well, on board to help us support, like blast the message out. We're just looking now for one other representative in the Caribbean side, and then we're gonna just clean up the entire country, the beaches. And that's coming up most probably in December as a beautiful way to end the year and give something back to this amazing country, and end the year with beautiful karma.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think it's together we are stronger. Exactly. And it's great to see people like you and Descubre Costa Rica, these kind of leaders on social media, uniting together to send out positive messages. So it's really inspiring. And so
making a change together. Mm-hmm.
And thank you, Julie, for taking an idea and putting it into action, because that's what we need too. We need to people to take action towards their ideas, to make change.
That's right. We need more people to stand up and doing that. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. So we're talking to you.
Yep.
You. Start a beach cleanup, or a river cleanup, or a forest cleanup, or something. That idea that you have in your heart, start it, and people will follow you. And actually, we will help you.
That's right. But sometimes, honestly, it's not even that big as making a huge event or initiative. I mean, even if you just, go into the club and not ask for the plastic straw. I mean, there we start. Yeah. You can keep cleaning up the beaches, but if you don't change actually the life the way of living, living more sustainable. And it's so easy, like take your cloth bag to your grocery shopping, have your, don't ask for the plastic straw, have your water bottle with you instead of buying plastic bottles. That is actually more now, and that starts at your house. It doesn't really need you
to do that,
to go out and every Saturday and clean up beaches. Well, we'll keep cleaning up beaches if we keep consuming, and consuming and consuming. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful advice. Why, thank you everyone for watching. So great to see your amazing love and comments, and thanks for being with us this morning. Thank you very much, Sandy.
Yay!
Oh, such a pleasure to have you on the show.
Absolutely.
And goodbye, everyone. Have a fantastic day. Hope you have a great week, and many blessings to you wherever you are.